So we begin the pouring of the libation. Ancestors, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today. We thank you for everything that you've done, all the suffering that you went through, all the victories, the triumphs. We thank you for the greatness that you are and that you still teach it to us today. We call on the ancestors who were taken away from Africa, who went on the Middle Passage, and those who lost their lives, the children, the women, the men. We thank you for the sacrifice that you made. We call upon our ancestors who came to this country and were able to survive. We thank you that you didn't give up for us, because of what you did, we're here today. I call upon our ancestor Harriet Tubman and those who understood that they had the right to be free and were willing to die for it. We thank you for giving us that model. We pray that we will have that same commitment for our children who are to come. We pour this libation for those who lost their lives, for those who thought that it was better to die than to be enslaved. And we pour this water for those who are to come, for those who we will leave a legacy for based on what the decisions that we make today. We ask for your help. We ask that you would be with us, that you would guide us.
We're here because we're starting a club for the youth, the Maat Club. And the purpose of it, basically, Maat in the Egyptian language means truth. And the point of the club is to share truth with our youth. The truth of who they are, the truth of their history, and why we're here. Reverend Lundy was talking about our ancestors and bringing forth our ancestors. We really don't, some of us, and some do, don't really know who we are as far as our true past and what our history is. And if we don't know, then our children won't know, and their children won't know. And the information that they're getting from images on television, from the radio, from their music. And that's fine, but there's more to it. So we don't want them to assume that they're someone without knowing their complete history. Angelise? So the point of the club is to experience who you are, and where you come from, and your connection to the past, and not just the immediate past, but your ancient history, before you came to the shores of America. So it's bigger than Bergen County, and it's bigger than Essex and Say County. It's bigger than New Jersey. It's bigger than the U.S. It's bigger than America. It's global. We're a global village, and we're all connected. It's a tapestry, and people in Cuba have a connection to people in America, and we don't know what that connection is. We know it exists somehow because we kind of look alike, right? But where does that connection come from? Where does the connection in the Caribbean come from? How are we all connected somehow? And the bigger picture of who you are, because you can't just know about yourself from the music that you listen to and the images that you get on television. Because if those are the only images that we're getting of ourselves, then it's very negative, right? But our history is very positive. So part of the Maat Club's mission is to understand who we are and why, right? And we know that it's Black History Month, and we'll get information about ourselves, right? But how much information do we get? So if I said Martin, how many people immediately get a picture in their head and know who I'm talking about? Martin. I don't even have to say a last name, right? I don't have to say a middle name. I don't have to say anything else, right? Martin. Yeah, right? But if I say Martin Luther King Jr., then you really start getting all kinds of images in your head, right? So tell me some of the images that pop into your head.
The speech.
The speech, right?
He was
we know that story, right? That's the, you don't even have to say the whole name. You know that story. You know that, his father took him into the shoe store, and, you just know it like the back of your hand. You could argue about whether James Earl Ray was even there. You're like, the whole story comes to mind. If I said Rosa, how many people would know who I'm talking about? And you have to go up, right?
Rosa Parks.
Yeah, we know, right? We know those stories. But there are so many other stories. There's so many other stories. Our history doesn't start with the Civil Rights Movement. Right, we know Michael Jackson, but yeah. Right? So there are so many stories. And the point is, we want to look at some of those other stories.
Introduce what you're gonna do for us.
The first song that we're going to do is called Obi Sana Sana, and the Obi Sana Sana means I hit my finger on it. I know it's funny. And the second song we're going to be singing is called Sea to Soul. It's in two languages, it's in English and it's in another language in Africa. Obi Sana. What? Hey, don't you want to come along to Ghana? Hey, don't you want to come along, my brother? Hey, don't you want to come along to Ghana? And as we travel, we'll sing this happy. Hey, don't you want to come along to Ghana? Hey, don't you want to come along, my brother? Hey, don't you want to come along to Ghana? And as we travel, we'll sing this happy. Obi sana sana na obi sana san. 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 Obi 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 sana na obi sana obi sana san. Chibu, Chimani, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo, Omotimagu, Ubukuramane, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo. One thing I know, everybody's got a seed to sow. Let your heart of hearts take you down the road. Everybody's got a seed to sow. Chibu, Chimani, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo, Omotimagu, Ukukuramane, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo. One thing I know, everybody's got a seed to sow. Let your heart of hearts take you down the road. Everybody's got a seed to sow. Chimu, Chimani, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo, Omotimagu, Gugugu, Nyamyane, Buli, Mutalina, and Sigo. One thing I know, everybody's got a seed to sow. Let your heart of hearts